Hi guys, it's Carol. How are ya? I'm pretty good. You probably wonder, oh, Casey will fuss at me because I didn't fix my couch cushions. You probably wonder what this mess is over here. This is my box that I keep my hearing aids in, that lime green box I keep losing. And this is not a sponsored video, but this is Blue Stop Max aloe vera, emu oil, and menthol that I keep right here because my joints hurt all the time and I rub it on my joints. So that's what you see in the background over there, and my emery boards because my nails break like crazy. I hardly ever wear fingernail polish, and one time when I first started making videos, I had nail polish on, and my sister said, "Do you ever wear nail polish normally?" I told her, I do to glue my fingernails together. My nails break like crazy, even though I take biotin. But anyway, I like to wear fingernail polish, but I don't know how people do it. I put mine on, and an hour later, I've got it chipped off in places. But anyway, that's why I'm plain. I had started answering some comments just a while ago. You know that video I made in the middle of the night about, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning. This morning was about reading a romance novel by, a romance novel by Carolyn Brown. I don't normally read no romance novels, especially if they're descriptive. I have an imagination. I don't need somebody drawing me a picture. I just don't care for that kind of thing. But when I was looking for some cozy mysteries, her things kept popping up, even though they're not cozy mysteries, they're romance novels. So I finally decided to read Small Town Rumors because that title just grabbed me. Well, in her description of herself, you know, I told you she said she writes contemporary, historical, and cowboy and country music romance novels. I was telling somebody, if I don't watch myself, I'm going to be reading a cowboy and country music romance novel before I know it. Well, actually I have. I'm trying to pull it up on my tablet so I can read to you. Then I was telling another lady, Anne from Minimalism by Anne, that we were talking about Oklahoma authors, kind of, and I was telling her that Blake Shelton's mother lives in Oklahoma, and that she had written a romance novel. I think it was published in 2013. It's been a long time ago. But anyway, I read it and I liked it. And I got to thinking, I wonder if that woman has written anything else, because I would read them if she had. And so I started looking her up. She's Blake Shelton's mother. She also has a daughter and a son that passed away, I think in 1990. I'm not real sure. Anyway, her name is Dorothy Shackelford. I think Shackelford was her maiden name. Anyway, she wrote a romance novel called, now I can't find the title of it. Time for Me to Come Home. Well, that was turned into a Hallmark movie called Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas. And I remember reading it. I don't remember it because, you know, my memory. And that was a long time ago, 9 years ago at least. Anyway, I'm going to read you the description in case you might want to read a cowboy and country music romance novel. 35-year-old Heath Sawyer has finally made it to the big time as a country music star. After a year full of the kind of success he could only dream of, it's December 23rd, and he's headlining a sold-out show at Madison Square Garden. It's only as the lights on the stage go down and the Christmas lights outside come on that Heath realizes there's just one place he wants to be for the holidays, back in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. But journeying anywhere on Christmas Eve is never easy, and with flight delays, inclement weather, and the unexpected company of a feisty young woman who's about to become his traveling companion, Heath will need a Christmas miracle to make his way home in time to open presents. filled with touching anecdotes inspired by the real holiday memories of Blake Shelton and Dorothy Shackelford. Time for Me to Come Home is a sweet and funny story that celebrates the spirit of Christmas and the true meaning of finding your way back home. Sometimes the best gift on Christmas is sharing it with those you love. Well, she wrote that novel. Then it was turned into a Hallmark movie. In the reviews, it says, some person said, I started watching the Hallmark movie that said it was based on this book, so I bought the book to see. Frankly, I never saw the connection, but this is a great book. I laughed and I hoped, and yes, I teared up a few times. Well worth reading. You know, that's how it is. When they take a book and they make it into a movie, sometimes you don't even recognize the two. I've not seen this movie, so I can't tell. But it's like the book Cheaper by the Dozen. That was a book published, oh my gosh, early in the, I'll look it up, early in the 1900s, I think. But then they've made movies, Cheaper by the Dozen, one with Steve Martin, and then another one, a more recent one. Oh, well, anyway, when I watched the one by Steve Martin, the only thing similar between the book, Cheaper by the Dozen, and the movie, Cheaper by the Dozen, was the title. Well, anyway, if you want to read a cowboy and country music romance novel, not written by Carolyn Brown, written by somebody else, you might look and see, well, there's Toby. You might look and see if you can find Time for Me to Come Home. So there's that. The book is Time for Me to Come Home. The movie is Time for Me to Come Home for Christmas. It's nap time. Molly's under the blanket behind me and Toby's getting ready. Anyway, back to, I couldn't put a picture of that book because when I looked it up on my tablet, the picture says that it's copyrighted material, so I couldn't take a screenshot and show you. I probably wasn't supposed to on the others, but I didn't know it. Anyway, back to the other book I wanted to tell you about, The Whispered Word. This is number 2 in the Secret Book and Scone Society by Ellery Adams. Now let me tell you about cozy mysteries. I love cozy mysteries because they are entertaining. They are, I don't say this in a bad way, but they're kind of fluff. And I don't say that in a bad way. That just means they aren't usually intense and very descriptive about murders or anything like that. They're just usually, for me, a fun read. An escape without being too drastic. Well, Ellery Adams is a mystery writer, and this was listed under Cozy Mysteries. It's an excellent book. This series is good, but it's not a traditional cozy mystery in that they're kind of fluff. This is like a real book, a real novel. And I don't say that being derogatory to anybody who writes cozy mysteries. I would love it if I could write cozy mysteries. This is just a little bit more intense. In the first book, you know, I told you that there were these 4 women that live in Miracle Springs, and they all have something in their past very painful, and they join together. They don't trust anybody because of what's happened in their past, but they learn to trust each other because they share their secrets. And they have a common goal to comfort other people. Well, in this one, in the middle of reading it, I just had to stop because it was a little too intense for me. And that's just the way my mind works. I don't think it would bother anybody else. And I have not experienced the trauma that these ladies experienced. But I remember when my mother was burned so horribly bad. I vividly remember that. And I remember her scars. And she's been gone a long time, and I can still picture her scars. And there's a young woman in this book named Abilene. And she experiences something horribly traumatic that I have never experienced anything like that, but just to read about her pain hurt me. But then I have been told I'm an empath, if you know what that is, where you feel everyone else's pain very strongly. And I've known that for years and years and years. Anyway, this book was a little tough for me to read because of that, because I take on everyone's pain that I hear about or read about. My first job was, I worked in high school. They started this program where you could go to school half a day and work half a day. And I became an employee of a dentist, working as like a dental assistant in training. I hated every second of it. I never wanted to be a dental assistant. How I ended up in that job was just crazy. They just said, "Oh, here's a job. Do you want it?" "Yeah." No, I didn't. I didn't know how to say no for decades. Well, anyway, everything that those dental patients did not feel because their mouth was numbed up, I did. I would just go home literally sick at the end of the day from feeling like I experienced all that pain. That's how I do things. So don't be afraid to read this series. You're not like me. You won't be that. You're not crazy. You won't do that. But anyway, in this story, those 4 women, let me just read you the blurb. It's so much easier than me trying to pull my thoughts together. Nora Pennington, owner of Miracle Books. She's the one that lives in the old caboose car, old railroad car, and everybody in town calls it the cozy caboose, or it's painted cherry red. And anyway, she lives in that railroad car, and her bookstore is in the old train depot. Nora Pennington, owner of Miracle Books, believes that a well-chosen novel can bring healing and hope. But she and the other members of the Secret Book and Scone Society know that sometimes practical help is needed too. Such is the case with a thin-reed girl hiding in the fiction section of Nora's store, wearing a hospital ID and a patchwork of faded bruises. She calls herself Abilene, and though Nora and her friends offer work, shelter, and a supportive ear, their guest isn't ready to divulge her secrets. But when a customer is found dead in an assumed suicide, Nora uncovers a connection that points to Abilene as either a suspect or another target. This was a really good mystery. This was a good mystery. Like I said, it's more of a, I hate to say real novel. Cozy mysteries are real novels too, but I mean, this is like a piece of literature. I'm digging a hole and making it worse. This is a well-written book. It's more than just a cozy mystery. I'm going to say it that way. Here's what I'm reading on the back. Adams kicks off a new series featuring strong women, a touch of romance, and mysticism in both the cunning present-day mystery and the slowly revealed secrets of the intriguing heroine's past. Mysticism is kind of a buzzword that I think would turn off a lot of people. It's not that. I think it's more that you'll have to read the book. It's the feelings that they are in touch with in themselves that they use to help other people. Good book. This one was kind of intense, but in case you didn't think it was intense, so, that's just me. Anyway, The Whispered Word is number 2. I'm going to read number 3 next. I've already got it checked out. Let me see what the title of that one is. Oh, we don't know because it's not in here. Anyway, I've got it. I'll read it next. I really recommend this series. Good literature, excellent writing. All right, there's that. I don't know anything else. I'm going to get back to trying to respond to your comments. I love your comments. I read every one at least once, sometimes 4 or 5 times. And at night when I'm going to bed, I read the comments. Sometimes I just don't have it in me to respond if I'm not mentally in a good place or feeling well. But I try to go back and respond as I can. So please leave me a comment. Let me know what you're reading. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what's going on in your life. And tomorrow, I'm going to do something besides talk about books, because my son and his wife buy, they belong to a subscription thing called HelloFresh, where you order food and it comes with a recipe card and all the ingredients that you're going to need to make this dish. Well, they gave me 2 free meals from HelloFresh. Honestly, that is not something I would ever buy on my own. But my grandkids were so excited to give me those coupons, gift cards to order 2 meals from HelloFresh. Taylor tells me they have liked every single thing that they've received from that company. They get 5 meals a week. The only thing he's growling about something. The only thing they haven't liked is the meatloaf, and I'm not sure why. But anyway, Taylor picked out some kind of hamburger that we're going to get, and we're going to save and make that when Rhett and Taylor are here. I don't have my kids as often as I used to. They've been on vacation, and now their parents are getting them into a different routine. But anyway, I don't have them 4 or 5 days a week like I used to. So anyway, we're getting the HelloFresh box tomorrow of the 2 free meals I ordered. I won't subscribe to it. It's too expensive for me by a long shot. But anyway, I don't know what Toby's growling about. Anyway, I should get that box tomorrow. My older daughter Becky is coming on Wednesday. I probably won't have my grandkids, but Becky and my daughter Casey and I will be making, I think it's a panini meal from the HelloFresh box, so I'll show you that. Okay, I'm going to go for now. Talk to you later. Hope everything's well with you guys. Bye-bye.